How to win solos. In this video, I'll cover 3 main points for you to consider if you want to win solos and if you want to get better at the game in general. The first important point to consider when it comes to winning solos is drop location. Where you drop on the map is the first test that will determine if you get sent back to the lobby early or make it to endgame. Drop locations can be categorized in 3 tiers. You have your low risk, medium risk, and high risk drop locations. These tiers are determined based on the amount of players that frequently drop in those specific areas. Low risk drop locations, which I recommend for newer players, are towards the edge of the map where there are fewer houses, fewer loots. Majority of seasoned players usually avoid dropping into these areas because of the limited loot and sometimes even low quality loot as well. But that creates a good opportunity for new players to drop and collect good enough loot without having to fight for it. These areas help players to slowly build up momentum as they head towards the center of the map and towards mid-game. Medium risk drop locations are where you will find higher concentration of players and more activity. These areas are more of the residential locations where there are many houses and good loot. Also often where you'll find the NPCs on the map where you can buy loot from and also hire as mercenaries. Finally, we have the high risk drop locations. These locations are more skill dependent. It's where you'll find the bosses and the high tier loot vaults on the map. More seasoned players usually target these areas for the high tier loot, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend these drop spots for newer players who are just coming to the game, trying to get a hang of the game and even trying to get a few wins, because these locations are usually very sweaty. The second most important thing to consider if you're trying to win solos is your loadout. Your loadout is very important. The type of guns you carry can either make or break a fight. So I suggest practicing with each weapon to see and decide which ones you're more comfortable with using and stick to them throughout your games. I personally carry a SMG or an assault rifle in my slot 1 for close to mid-range fights, a shotgun in slot 2 for close combat, and a sniper in slot 3 for some juicy headshots. A sniper is almost mandatory to have in your loadout because, I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to snipe someone from a mile away, right? My slot 4 houses my consumables, and my slot 5 keep my movement utilities such as my shockwave grenade, etc. The last and arguably the most important point to consider if you want to win your games is positioning. Positioning will determine if you make it to endgame, to even have a shot at winning in the first place, or swiftly get taken out and sent back to the lobby. So as you traverse the map, you have to be extremely aware of your surrounding as to not make yourself an easy target for snipers or for anyone looking for an easy kill. You have to navigate the terrain strategically as the zone gets smaller and use your surroundings to your advantage, such as for cover, for swift maneuvers, or for taking high ground. Good positioning will give you such a big advantage and make it easier for you to win the game even if you're an average player. I can promise you that if you're an average player but you have good positioning, your chances of winning the game is 1,000-fold. Versus if you if you have some skills and you suck at positioning, you'll most likely lose the game before you even make it to top 3 or top 5. So to quickly recap, if you want to win solos, the first thing to focus on is where you drop on the map. Second is your optimal loadout that will help you to win fights. And lastly, how you position yourself through the game. If you practice these 3 things, I guarantee that you will start racking wins. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you on the next one.